What's good, everyone? Welcome to another reading. This is going to be a message from Spirit. No introduction needed, but I will kind of give you a little energy cleanse. So I'm going to use my tuning fork. There's no need to change the volume of the video because it's not a very loud one. But hopefully help you to cleanse your energy today. So yeah, message from Spirit. As always, we've got pile number 1, 2 and 3. Feel free to pause the video and we'll start off with pile number 1s. Okay, pile number 1s. Got a funky hairstyle going on, that's for sure. There's something a little bit fashionista about this reading. So you might be designers of some sort, pile number 1s. This to me is almost like, this to me is an afro, I should say. But the way that it's hitting is almost like a fabric. The way that it's backdropping this figure. I'm tempted to draw a circle in there, but I'm not gonna. This so this is to do with alignment, pile number 1s. There's something to do with it's essentially to do with like the alignment of true self. So the message is really, you could be in an energy here, pile number 1s, where like you're realizing that you're kind of figuring out your new self. It's funny because it's almost like this hair is quite significant. It's almost like you're trying out this new hairstyle for the first time. And you don't know what to... It's one thing to think, I don't know what other people think of this. It's another thing to say, am I comfortable in it yet? You know, sometimes when you try something new, I'm not sure if you can resonate with this pile number 1s, but you try something new and it's like, you know, it's the right thing for you, but first few times wearing it, it might be a bit uncomfortable for you. Not because it's not for you, it's just different to what you used to be like, or it's different to the normal colors that you choose, or it's giving me that kind of vibration. And yeah, I think that kind of has to do with I can't think of the word right now, but it's almost like the basic term would be like how much the thing stands out has an impact to how much doubt that might put on the person, right? It's just giving me it's just giving me that vibe. It's quite funny actually, because the way that it's coming through, it's like I can almost feel the energy of the person saying, like it's almost like looking in the mirror and going, damn, you really about to do this? So it might not even be like, so the hairstyle is kind of giving us an example that we can all kind of relate to. But this kind of analogy could be anything. This could be career. This could be someone you're dating. It's almost that energy as well of like looking over at maybe your new partner and going, this is not my usual type. You're about to do this. Yeah, okay, cool. It's that kind of thought in the head, like, damn, I didn't see that coming. It's the career choice as well. It's like maybe you took that job at that place and you're just like, man, I didn't see that coming. For good, for better or worse, kind of. It could be like maybe their morals are a bit different to what you're used to at that new job. Maybe it's just something you never imagined yourself to do. Maybe the vibe's different. Whatever your kind of moment of uncomfortability is, that's going to be unique to you. But the feeling is that Spirit's reminding you that you're in this phase at the moment where you're just realigning to this new year. You're kind of just, realigning. More, also getting the word like resetting as well, resetting. So poll number one's quite quick readings today. If you enjoyed it, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Okay, poll number twos. Wow. I'm gonna leave that actually. Now I was tempted, it's quite interesting. I don't think ever this has come up in the readings, but like hair is really important. Like hair is really important in this one. I was very tempted to, this is touching more on the masculine energy here, but I wanted to do this masculine with like a long kind of hair. I didn't because I felt like the energy was getting a bit beyond me. I had to anchor it in, I had to ground it a little bit. I have to do that sometimes in the readings because there's too much coming through. Like when you're doing these collective readings, sometimes it's like the energy is really funneled, like the people who are listening are kind of basically vibrating in the same way. So it's basically the message is easier to channel. And then there's other times where it's like there's a more of a wider mass. That's how I kind of feel like the energy is anyway. It's like it's a larger mass. Here's a good example. You might relate to this. Poll number two is I might be speaking your language. Sometimes the reading's like a lightning bolt. So the message comes in like a lightning bolt, and it's very easy and direct to explain that lightning bolt. And then other times it's like a cloud. And in fact, in many ways, it's almost like a cloud that is actually raining. So it's very hard to actually pinpoint each raindrop, because that's like you guys who are listening. You're like a raindrop in that channeled message. And in those cases, it's almost easier just to explain generally the rain and generally the cloud, because going into each and every raindrop is just too much. So I'm saying all of that. Hopefully you kind of caught where I was going there. Pole number 2's is putting that wild hairstyle on this character. We're starting to get into the reading of one of those raindrops, whereas when I left it as the way it is, now we're talking about pretty much all the raindrops and the cloud. So pile number 2 is like, I never think that any of these explanations are coincidence here. There may be something where you're maybe understanding your intuition in a better way now as well. You might want to you might relate to that analogy. I'm getting from spirit here as well, is that analogy that I just gave you, that might be quite helpful for you when you're thinking creatively. So when it comes to creative thinking or even problem solving, a lot of my work as an architect is problem solving. People often think it's creative and artistic, which it can be, but majority it's problem solving, especially when it's on site. Pile number 2 is you might want to tap into that energy of when you're kind of feeling out your intuition. How are you able to decipher between that lightning bolt of an idea or of creativity and the cloud? I'm also getting here like it's it's almost a little bit the runway without the runway. Person's definitely got some swag to their walk. I can't even say that they've got their chest out, because it's almost like they've got their chest back. But it does like ooze confidence. I'm not sure what you feel and what you see, pile number 2's, but just the energy of this, it oozes confidence. And this person doesn't seem to be walking particularly fast. kind of walking kind of slow to me. I'm not sure if you're getting the same vibe, pile number 2's. So I think those kind of key words for you there are, this is your current energy, or if it's not resonating with you, that's maybe something you need to embrace. Maybe because it's linking back to that creativity and your mindset with the lightning bolt and the cloud. There may be something here where kind of you're embracing possibly your creativity in a more confident manner. I'm getting that. And like I said, if that's not really resonating with you, spirit is saying to try and encompass that, try to embrace that. And the tip for you, if you feel like you're not quite here yet, if that walk or that swag doesn't really remind you of yourself, it's kind of refining your intuitive skill is somehow going to give you that. I think maybe in a real simple way, pile number 2's, this might be like real simply is trusting in your intuition more. Now, there's a million ways in which we can trust in our intuition more. But for me, the message seems to be here of like a refining of your skill in your intuition is basically, like I said, giving us that summary quote, trust your intuition. So part number 2 is these are quite quick readings today. I hope you enjoyed them nonetheless. If you did, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Okay, pile number 3 is... It's not finished yet. There's energy here. It was like diamond shaped. You could even relate this possibly to kite and flying, because this character's definitely kind of leaping. It's reminding me a lot of there's an idea here of like sculpting energy, shaping energy, shaping form. I feel part 3 is like you're kind of almost inventing something here, because it's quite hard for me to explain what this is. It's like my soul knows it, but it's like it's maybe not even here yet, you know? It's that, or it's either it's that it's not here yet, or it was here in the past and we've forgotten it as a human race. So let me explain kind of what I'm seeing here so you can possibly grasp what's going on. It's a little bit like I can't even remember. Is it a conductor? So you know when you've got an orchestra and there's the person with the stick waving it. I'm not from that cloth, so I can't even give you the proper words of what these things are called. But you know what he's doing there, or she's doing there? Like, kind of logically, it doesn't really make sense, does it? Like, it doesn't really make sense. I'm saying that because, like, you've got an orchestra and everyone starts to... So, like, for example, like maybe that person with the stick, he may be very important for when it starts, like, so the orchestra know when to start. But then him kind of waving, and just replace that him with her, by the way. If that triggers you, I'm just going off with me being a male. So this, the guy who starts off the orchestra, and that's very important because obviously everyone needs to know when to start. But then one might argue, like, especially if you're not experienced with orchestras and stuff, that after that moment, he's not really necessary. If you're not aware of that kind of skill or talent or craft, especially I did as a youngster, I used to just think, what's the guy doing waving his stick around? There's not really much importance to that. Like, after that first starting point, one might argue who's not educated in that industry or profession, to that he's not really necessary after the start of the performance. Now, like I said, I'm no expert in opera music or classical music, but I would assume that he's doing more than waving his stick around. He's actually, for one, giving the orchestra some kind of focus point. He's probably also giving the orchestra some form of rhythm. He's also probably giving the orchestra, in a way, some form of instruction. You know, he's reminding certain performers, or is it instrument? The people who play the instruments. He's probably giving them some form of order and guidance as well, reminders, and you know, he's almost overseeing that production. But from the outskirt, like me, a young teenager from East London, when he first sees that, he probably doesn't see much use in the man waving around the stick. And especially as it's just a stick and he's just waving it into thin air. There's not, there's not much in that for someone who's not educated in it. But then for someone who knows the importance of that person, there's a whole load of importance in it. This is reminding me of that energy, pole number 3. It's like you're accessing energy and space in a different way. It could be through dance. It could just be through your intuition and your spiritual knowledge. I feel like you're maybe partaking in something, like you could possibly be in two camps here. You might actually be inventing or creating a completely new perspective on dance or space in some kind of way. It's the word isn't really space. It's almost like there's an energy here of like touching the unseen and manipulating the unseen. I guess the easiest way to maybe relate this reading to something that people can understand as well is like, so we've got that orchestra example, but then the second thing to that would be like Reiki. It's like people are using an energy there which isn't visually seen, but actually what we're talking about here is something different. Actually, it's something different to Reiki and obviously the orchestra man. You know, it's almost like this I could be wrong here, like Reiki might be able to do this for all I know, but this character, i.e. you, they seem to be able to make, it's almost like create forms in the unseen. So an example of this, and I know this is very otherworldly. I might lose some people here. Um, but it's almost like this person has the ability to, like if you're in a house and they can visually say, I'm going to create a door where there is no door here, energetically. Now, for some of you who are very logically minded, and I'm struggling with this here as well with spirit, I'm like, well, you try. It's like Neo. You're trying to say I can dodge bullets. I feel like Neo in this moment. It's like spirit is opening you up to the idea of like, so this is a character who can create a door where there's no door, and what I mean by that is that like for some of you who are more like spiritually advanced, they're listening to me and they know exactly what I mean, and they've got no problems in believing it either. But obviously there's going to be some people who are maybe new to ideas like this who need a little bit of convincing, and I feel like that's what spirit is helping me to do here. And I'm very spiritually open-minded, but I'm skeptical sometimes too, right? So an easy example of this is let's say you're in a house and you've got a room and the room has got a physical door on it, but you open the door and then you say, I'm going to create energetically a door here. And what I'm saying to you, Palfrey, is it's not that people have lost, like with this example, that you're saying that people have lost their marbles and they actually see a physical door here where there is no door. What we're saying is energetically you have created a door, and that might come in a form where it's not like someone knocks on your invisible door that you've made. It's that you just notice that people are treating it in the same way as if the door was closed. Do you get me? So it's not like they would walk into this empty space and knock their head on this invisible door. It's more that you've created a vibe around that space which says there's a boundary here, basically. When I say it out loud, that's not too hard to believe. I'm very sure that there's some people who would find that hard to believe, but as a concept, spirits at least given that to me as a message, very clear to understand. And I think maybe like the parting message for you, pile number 3, is that when you can grasp that as a concept, what else can you do? And that's where I'm going to leave you, is that when you can really grasp that as a topic, as something that's real, that's something that you can do, you can start asking yourself, so what else can I sculpt? What else can I create in that space? And I think there's gold there, pile number 3s. You can thank me later, or you can thank me now by giving me a like, comment, and a subscribe. If you like the video, also check out ifyoupause.com, pile number 3s. I've got other videos and products, services available on there. Beautiful reading. There is much more to this reading, I might add, but we will be here all day if I was to go down that rabbit hole. So I hope that you was able to unpick some value from it, Palfreys, and I'll see you in the next reading. Take care.